welcome to Turn to Your Doom, a choose your own adventure book podcast where I read a choose your own adventure book, me being Art, to a friend, and we, talk about it and do adventure stuff. My person here who is going to give herself a pixie cut and move to the seaside to potentially either be eaten or kiss a mermaid. Faith.
That actually sounds like my dream. I'm not gonna lie.
You
Except
probably
the pixie cut. I don't think I look good with that short of hair.
See, honestly, I can't tell you if you do or not because I've never seen you with short hair. So
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I look good with a bob. That's as short as I can go. But the kissing or being murdered by mermaids, ugh, what a dream.
Yeah. See, if I was to, okay, first off, all mermaids are at least bi, but majority of them are lesbians. We already know that.
Yeah.
Because
Obviously.
So yeah. But we, talking about mermaids, we are going to be reading Seaside Mystery by Anne Hodgman and illustrated by Judith Mitchell. And this, I think, is the first one that we're reading anyway, that has you explicitly play as I want to say a teen girl here. And if I remember properly, I think you can be eaten by mermaids in this one.
Hell yeah.
So, we could get you at least one of your dreams, Faith.
Hell yeah.
One of them.
Listen, if I get eaten by the mermaid, if I'm not allowed to kiss her, I'm just giving back to the community.
Yeah, but we could get at least one of your dreams fulfilled, I think, in this one.
Sweet. I mean, if I get eaten, I'm just giving back to the community. Really.
Yeah, obviously. I do want to say also, there's probably going to be about a month lag or something between this one, but we are recording this on the second day of the new year, 2024.
Woo!
I would like to say, we're not doing new year, new me thing. We're doing new year, same me, but worse. The universe is not putting out good vibes.
Yes,
we might as well match its vibes.
I always say, I'm not like other girls. I'm worse.
Yeah. I'm gonna become more of a garbage person this year because why not? Everything.
I will not be nicer. I will bite more.
Yeah, and you might get yourself a good boyfriend that way as well.
Oh
or
boy.
Girlfriend. I don't know.
I
guess it depends on how much of a twink the boy is.
I do feel like the kind of men that I am actually into would be into that.
Yeah. So.
As for girls, same.
Yeah.
Actually, any woman could look my way and I'll be happy the entire day.
Yeah. But that being said, we're both very single. Okay, let's get started. Okay. You're not expecting much of a summer. Your parents are spending August in Europe, and they parked you at a seaside hotel at a little town called Clams Bay. I mean, that sounds like lesbian hotspot.
Well then.
Okay, sorry. I laughed a little too hard at that.
My mom would 100% be like, she's going to that lesbian beach, ain't she?
You hope for a vacation resort filled with families, a happy little bustling place where you can make lots of friends, eat lots of lobster, maybe take some sailing lessons. But Harbor View Hotel is nothing like that. It's just a faded boarding house, shabby, prim, and quiet, with a dusty parlor where no one ever sits. The house is 20 feet away from the ocean in a little cove, but there's no beach to speak of. Maybe a few feet of pebbly sand and some hermit crabs. I'm gonna be real. I mean, if you want to have goth summer, this sounds like a good place.
Crave. Every time I go to the beach, that's the first thing I look for.
You've been at Harborview Hotel for 2 weeks so far, and the worst thing is you're the only kid there. Your companions are a bunch of old ladies who spend all day talking about the days when the town and hotel were happy and bustling. For the most part, they're nice enough, but down the hall is one very creepy specimen. Miss Klimp, the owner of the boarding house. Miss Klimp is a tall, spiky-looking woman with steel-rimmed glasses and a piercing stare that is always aimed at you. You know she's supposed to be keeping an eye on you, but she's really overdoing it. In fact, she seems to have a grudge against you. You can't imagine why. You haven't done anything to offend her. But on the days when you're up early enough to go down to breakfast in the dingy dining hall, she's always there ahead of you, fixing you with a grim glare as you walk in. And when you go swimming, which you only do out of desperation, since it's not much fun to swim alone. She sits on her balcony and trains her binoculars on you. Sometimes you wonder if Miss Klimp watches you through the keyhole at night. All in all, it hasn't been much of a vacation, and it doesn't look as if it'll get any better. Why don't you try to go to the local library or something?
Yeah, damn!
The town might not be bustling, but that probably means you get a decent meal cheaply. I don't know. I lived in a place with nowhere that had nothing, and I resented a little bit, but I still found stuff to do.
Yeah, same.
Sounds like this girl has no imagination. A.K.A. you, because this is written in second person, so.
Yeah.
You have no imagination. Yeah. Turn to page 5. One night you wake up suddenly, and you think you heard something. What was it? It sounded like someone crying. You listened for a second, but all you hear is a chirp of a lone cricket, and the soft splash of waves lapping against the shore. You're about to pull the cover over your head when you hear the sound again. It is someone crying. And the sound's coming from your bed, and it's you? What? No.
Shut up!
No.
Shut up!
It's coming, and the sound's coming from the beach. A.K.A. the bathroom that you're in. You look up, you see yourself. It's you. You're crying.
You look in the mirror.
You just saw a video of a kitten. That was a little sad.
That's so true. I have literally told my therapist, I cry all the time, but it's just because sometimes I'll see a TikTok and there'll be a cat in it.
Quietly, you pull on a bathrobe and tiptoe down the stairs and let yourself out the front door. You're startled by how bright the night is. The moon's blue glow throws everything into sharp focus. The sleeping ship on the horizon, a forgotten towel flapping on a clothesline, and the desolate figure huddled at the edge of the beach. Who is it? You walk closer and clear your throat nervously. Is there anything I can do? You ask. Then you freeze as a tear-stained face turns towards you. It's a mermaid. Turn to page 12.
It's happening!
The mermaid seems to be about your age. Pink shells are braided into her long, rippling hair, and her silvery tail gleams in the moonlight. But what you mainly notice is how miserable she looks. The two of you stare at each other for a second, and then the mermaid speaks. You can close your mouth now, she snaps, brushing the tears from her face. That's the worst thing about humans. They always act stupid when they see us. I heard someone crying, you stammer. I just came out to see who it was. Well, now you've seen, so you have to go back inside. She moves as if to enter the water. Wait! You don't want to lose the chance to talk to the only mermaid you've ever seen, but you're not sure how to open up a conversation with one, especially with one in such a bad mood. You woke me up, you say, at last. Don't you at least owe me an explanation? No, she fucking doesn't, you fucking needy-ass bitch. Calm the fuck down. She's obviously going through something right now, and she thought she was alone.
God.
Shit.
Why are these kids always so fucking rude?
That stops her. She whips around to face you. All right, she says rapidly. My name is Tana, and I'm lost. I don't know where the rest of the mermaids are. I got caught in undertow, and when I finally got free, they all swam away somewhere else. I've been looking for 2 days, but I can't find them. And if you hear any more, you'll have to... And if you here anymore, you'll have to follow me underwater. Underwater? In the middle of the night? It's a clammy thought. But maybe you could help Tana, or maybe you should go back to bed. If all the mermaids are as irritable as this one, you're sure not to want to spend any more time with them. God, this sounds like she's almost racist. Like, be like, oh, you're so cool and exotic, but you're mean to me a little bit, so I don't like you anymore.
I don't understand why she's not into that.
Also, if she wants to be more mermaid, she obviously needs to move to Australia.
Obviously.
By the way, I was making an H2O reference there for people who don't understand immediately. It's a movie that millennial girls especially like.
God, you're right.
It's Australian.
God, you're right. You're so right.
A lot of queer women realized that they liked women because of that movie. So
God, that was like one of those
so
lesser talked about millennial movies.
Yeah, but if you decide to follow Tana underwater, turn to page 36. If you decide to go back to the house, turn to page 4. Now, I want to tell you, this is the first choice, so all of these... So, just because you do the negative one doesn't automatically mean it's going to be a worse story, so...
I'll go underwater.
Okay. You can go underwater if you want. Just realize that there's an undertow, and that it wants to kill you.
Oh, I know all about riptides, don't worry.
Yeah. It's the reason why I don't go into the ocean, because it wants to kill me, personally.
It also smells like dead things a lot.
Well, there are a lot of dead things.
Exactly. It's full of dead things.
It's also full of piss and shit.
so much salt and dead things.
It also wants to kill you. Specifically me. Art.
Yes.
Poseidon has me on his shit list. So, Alright, I'll come underwater with you, you say to your own surprise. But how am I supposed to breathe under there? Oh, I forgot, wait a minute. Tana pulls out a golden necklace from her neck and hands it to you. Put this on. As long as you're wearing something of mine, you'll be alright. You won't drown. Just don't lose it. Before you can say anything, she turns and dives underwater. Turn to page 47. I will say that this book is written way better than the other books I've read.
I know, obviously already.
Just really quickly, just gonna say, way better. Like, so much better. Gulping a little, you follow her. The water's not too cold once you're moving. And Tana was right about the necklace. You're breathing water as easily as air. You hurry up and catch up to her. She swims a lot faster than you, but she has 2 advantages. 1, she's a mermaid, and 2, she also isn't wearing pajamas and a bathrobe the way you are. Where are you going? She asks. This is the first time Tana sounds worried. I don't know, she says. The other mermaids could have gone anywhere. But won't they come back to you? I don't know that either. Mermaids don't have long memories. Anything that distracts them, they forget. They may forget all about me. Okay, so they have ADHD, okay? Shut up. They'll see something and remember you 5 years later and talk to you like nothing's happened, and then you'll look at them being like, what's happening?
Just say they have ADHD. It's okay. We understand in this day and age.
Maybe you and Tana should start looking for the mermaids right away. On the other hand, you don't really know your way around yet, to say the least. Maybe it's better for you to get used to being underwater first. If you decide to start looking now, turn to page 65. If you want to get used to being underwater first, turn to page 7.
So, making my note. Let's get used to being underwater, because I imagine this is quite the change.
Also, maybe you should take off all the stuff that's definitely weighing you down.
That too, I know.
Look, before we get going, could you show me around first? You ask Tana. She sighs and nods. I guess it makes sense, she says. You're not going to be much use unless you know your way around down here. Come on, men. She's off so fast you could scarcely keep up with her. You swum underwater before, but this is a different experience. Tana takes you deeper and deeper. The further down you go, the darker and stranger the seascape becomes. Pallid fish swim around you out of blackness, veering away in sudden panic when they catch a sight of you. A stingray glides like a ghost, and you see an octopus coiling and writhing beneath you. Creepiest of all is sea worms that brush your face as you swim past them. You're not too comfortable being so deep in the ocean. Turn to page 19. Let's go back up, you suggest. Maybe perhaps Tana's relieved to leave the depths too, for she doesn't complain at all. In silence, she quickly leads you up. The water around you lightens as it becomes more shallow, and then you're treading water on the surface. Like to go next, Tana asks. North or south? What's the difference? You ask feebly. Do you want to see some icebergs or coral reefs? If you want to go north and see icebergs, turn to page 97. If you want to go south and see coral reefs, turn to page 111.
Let's go see the coral reefs.
Might as well. It's probably a little bit before they got totally bleached.
It also sounds super rad. And we also don't know if this thing protects us against extreme cold.
I would imagine it maybe does, because if you're able to go down that deep, it probably takes you from pressure and temperature changes.
Exactly. That's also why I was like, we should get used to being underwater first to figure out if this thing protects us from the crushing pressure of the ocean.
Yeah. The further south you go, the warmer the water becomes, and the more beautiful your surroundings are. Tiny jewel-like fish dart out of the coral forests. Creamy pink shells lie on the ocean floor. And every evening the sunset turns into water turquoise. And every evening the sunset turns the turquoise water into flaming rose. It's like living in a stained glass window. Both you and Tana are so entranced that you forget that you were once trying to look for other mermaids. You spend your days exploring, and your nights staring up through the clear water at the stars and the tropical sky. You plant a seaweed garden, edged by the prettiest shells you can find. In time, even the shyest fish will take food from your hands. The seabirds will come to your call whenever you see them rise out of the water. As the days go by, your old life falls away. You become as part of the sea as Tana, and you'll never leave it again. The end.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a good existence.
Oh, hell yeah.
Also, the parents that clearly doesn't love you probably won't, actually, look for you.
I'm living my best life with my mermaid wife.
Yeah.
It's not my fault they don't want to visit for Christmas.
You sent them a postcard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you want to send me packages, you're gonna have to send it to 962 Coral Reef Drive, bottom of the ocean, next to Australia.
Wait, hold up. There used to be a lesbian and gay nation off the coast of Australia. Fuck, what was it called? Gay and Lesbian Kingdom of the Coral Seas.
Okay.
It was declared in 2004, but it was dissolved in 2017 when Australia legalized same-sex marriage. But yeah, Gay and Lesbian Kingdom of the Coral Sea Islands. It was a real country at one point.
Oh. Okay. So,
that's what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're going to the other choice where you go north instead of south. Let's go north, you say. As long as we don't go too deep. You swim north for a couple of days. Mermaids, you discover, sleep stretched out on a bed of water. Okay, it's surprisingly comfortable. And eat mostly seaweed, which is tough, but tasty when you're hungry. The water becomes increasingly colder as you head north, but you're fine as long as you keep moving. On the third day, though, you suddenly notice the water seems warmer, much warmer. In fact, almost hot. Turns out you wet the bed, which is the entire ocean. So
you learn that mermaid pee is so warm, so unbelievably warm.
You glance at Tana, wondering if she'll explain, but she's staring ahead, her face set and tense. Then you notice a particular odor, almost as if something was burning. Tana, what's that smell? And why is the water so warm all of a sudden? You've been into... Okay, obviously. Someone peed. And you went through the pee cloud. It is not warm, Tana snaps. It's just as cold as ever. And I don't smell anything. You're letting your imagination run away with you.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
Tana. Okay.
Calm
Turn
down.
Turn to page 67. Okay, Tana.
I don't smell anything. Oh, fuck. Okay.
This is our first fight as a couple. It's over nothing.
It's always over nothing.
What imagination? You ask angrily. Yeah, what imagination? You were somehow born in an old town. You could have explored the old warehouses and shit.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay. You ask, why would I imagine a spell? And why is the water heating up? Indeed it is. It's as hot as a bath now. You look around and are horrified to see an entire school of fish floating belly up, just a few feet away from you. What's going on? Well, maybe Tana let off like just a really toxic fart. And that's why she's so, like,
a super fun sight level fart.
Oh, this is even worse. The water becomes cloudy. A great rumbling of bubbles rise up from the bottom, as if the ocean was boiling. Then a crack appears in the ocean floor. No, Tana whispers, there's no such thing. What is it? You ask fearfully. I don't believe it's her. It's just a story. There's no such thing as sea witch. Okay. Tana, you're a mermaid. Why is there no such thing as sea witches? I just feel like, the line.
You are a mystical creature.
Yeah. The crack on the sea floor is widening, and something is rising from the crack. Suddenly the whole ocean seems to shudder, and a form appears in front of you. Never in your worst nightmares have you seen anything like the apparition that now confronts you. Turn to page 108. This one's starting to get spicy. And not in like a smut way. For everyone who's listening and thinks spicy just means sexy.
No.
No. It is the sea witch, Tana says, her flat... Oh, wait. It is the sea witch, Tana says, her voice flat with terror. The sea witch is a gnarled, grayish hag with dead white eyes. Her fingers are writhing snakes. The ocean bubbles and swirls around her like a loathsome whirlpool. As you and Tana stare, struck with horror, the sea witch speaks. A mermaid and a human child, she says. A little toad swims out of her mouth. And one of her snake fingers catches it. What brings you here, my chickens? Okay, real quick. Why the hell is there a toad in the ocean? Are there sea toads?
I know, I was also very confused by that.
Are there sea toads? I thought toads...
In ocean.
They're ocean toads?
Oh, they might be referring to lumpfish.
I don't know.
There are a couple kinds of fish referred to as sea toads.
Okay.
Or the more metal name, coffin fishes.
Oh, real metal.
Yeah.
You glance at Tana. He's too frightened to talk. Whatever happens next will have to be up to you. And you have no imagination. So, I mean...
None.
What are you gonna
Not
do?
a fucking thought in that little head of yours.
No. If you want to try to escape, turn to page 104. If you want to apologize for trespassing, turn to page 93.
Escape 104. Apologize. What is the apologize page number? Blech.
93.
You know what? She seems like a reasonable lady. I'll apologize.
It's too late to apologize. It's too late. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Sea toads are really cute.
Let me send a picture.
I will send you.
You clear your throat. Well, ma'am, you say. Tana, that's my friend here, got separated from her friends, and I was going to help her look for them. And she was going to show me around a little, and I guess we got lost. And anyway, we're really sorry if we trespassed. The sea witch chuckled nastily. Want to see the sights, eh? Well, I am a sight. At least you didn't try to run away. She leans forward. So there's a wave of heat that hits you. so intense you almost faint. If you do me one favor, I'll let you go. You, she says, turning to Tana. I'll reunite you with your friends, and as for you, human, I'll grant you any wish you ask, but only if I'm pleased with your service. You're a trespasser here. You must be made to pay. And if you don't agree, I shall boil you to death immediately. Okay, I got it. Fine, say. What's the favor? There's a pause. Bring me something that will make me happy, the sea witch says. You get her one of those little rose things that suck the life out of women, from what I hear. You know? Get one of those. I can't experience it, but I heard that, from the girlies who do have it and have a vagina, they really like it. Here they don't cost that much either.
No. You're like, can you wait 3 business days?
Can you wait 3 business days? Because, I'm sure you don't get a lot of action here, and you're a little tired of doing it.
I got
doing
something
manual.
you'll really like. We just have to wait for it.
Okay, turn to page 106.
I have an orange boy. I sent you what a sea toad looks like.
On Facebook?
Yes.
Oh my god, look at him, they're so cute!
It does a little guy!
Oh my god.
They're a kind of anglerfish.
Oh my god, I love them. I love anglerfish in the first place.
Oh, that little face. Oh.
I can imagine one being a little grumpy around me, but then I feed it something. It still looks grumpy, but it a little less.
On the inside, it has a change of heart.
Yeah. It does that thing that grumpy cats do, where they're like,
yes,
hey, I hate you, but I'm gonna stay around you a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And glare at you, but I'm gonna stay next to you. Something will make her happy. Tana looks stunned as you feel, and you don't dare ask for the witch to explain. I'll wait here for you, she says. Now be off. And be quick. Silently, you and Tana swim away. When you're out of earshot, this is what I get for taking a human with, she says bitterly.
Bitch, she would have boiled you alive if we didn't apologize.
You're the one that wanted to look for her.
Awful that would have been?
Oh, God.
I'm going to die in an olive garden. I'm not going to boil alive in an ocean.
You're the one who wanted to look around, so you'll have to think of some way out of this. The only thing you think of is treasure. Somehow you don't believe that that'll be the kind of thing that will make the witch happy. But that's all you can come up with at the moment, which is why you get her the rose thing. I hear it's also waterproof, so you can...
Oh my... Perfect.
Well, water resistant, I should say. I mean, it better be, from what I hear from some of these ladies.
Damn.
So, if you decide to hunt for treasure, turn to page 77. If you want to think of a better idea, turn to the next page, which is 107. So, do you want to think about it, or do you want to just do the first idea that comes to mind?
What was the treasure option?
77.
No, I'm gonna try and think of something better.
Okay.
I like how even our unimaginative character is like, no, that's dumb.
Tana, I'm sorry, you say. I didn't know I'd be getting us into this. If you give me time, I'm sure I'll come up with an idea, but I just can't think of anything at the moment. Let's keep swimming. Tana sighs. All right. I didn't mean to get angry. Who is this sea witch anyway, you ask, as the two of you swim along. I never knew she was real until today, Tana answers. I've heard stories about her. The sea witch will get you if you're not good. Don't swim too far away, the sea witch is out there. That kind of thing. But no mermaid, I know, ever really met her. I didn't believe in her. Well, I didn't believe in mermaids until I met you say. I guess there's more to those old stories than we thought. And Actually, she didn't seem too bad once I got used to her. Just as the water above you starts to churn, you look up. Dark, sleek, streamlined shapes are moving gracefully towards you. Dolphins! Donna cries. Run away! They're the most awful sea creature! No, she says, let's go up and see them. Like an idiot. Turn to page 112. Don't mess with dolphins. They're evil. They're one of the few creatures on Earth that is actively sexist.
I know.
Not in a way just like, oh, the women like are real choosy. No, like the boy dolphins will actively harm and hurt girl dolphins.
Like it's like them and baboons.
Yeah, that sucks.
By the way, the only animal where a quote unquote alpha male exists within their social hierarchy, and it has been proven that troops without alpha males do far better than troops with them.
And so far from our case sample of 4 books, this is the 4th book that I have. So far, it seems like the stories are written better by women as well. Because these are actually good. This is actually good.
Yeah.
We might, oh my god, I hope we get a choice where it loops back to the beginning and you get to do the other one after doing this. I hope we get one of those. Sometimes that happens, and I love those books. So
there
much.
were some parts of the Choose Your Own Adventure Zelda books that did that.
I love it when they do that. It's just like
I think Majora's Mask specifically because in the game you could turn back time. You could also do that. That was an option in the Choose Your Own Adventure book. You could go back to the beginning.
Yeah, I love it when they loop back to an earlier choice and then let you, and like it's like it's in the book instead of you having to do it. I love it. Makes it seem like you're actually going through an adventure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so above the surface, the dolphins are leaping joyfully. It almost looks as if they're dancing. Tana says something in a shrill, keening tone, as if it must be the dolphin line. Immediately, the two of you are surrounded. Oh no. Everywhere you look, dolphins are nuzzling you and butting you with their heads. Their heads gently against you.
Wait.
Calling excited.
These could be something other than bottlenose dolphins.
They could be. Maybe.
There are many, many species of dolphins that are not bottlenose dolphins.
They're just the worst.
Truly.
They kill sharks for fun.
Rude. They
will kill fish just to have sex with their corpse.
Ugh.
They're awful. I hate it. There's also a video of a dolphin. Dolphins will get themselves high by poking pufferfish.
Yes.
I hate bottlenose dolphins so much. Fucking hell. They're the worst. The list of their crimes just get longer and longer.
It never ends.
I'm sure that they would also do war crimes if they had thumbs.
Oh, 100%. You know it.
They're saying they're happy to see us. Tana translates. They've been swimming around for days without seeing anything but fish. Dolphins get lonely easily. She turns back and looks at the dolphins and says something. Something that sounds like a question. Now the dolphin voices are sadder, and their bright face seems drooped. Oh no, Tana says. She turns to you. They say that there's a new little dolphin whose mother died 2 days ago. They don't know what to do. The baby's too young to travel alone with them, and there's no group that can take care of him. Tana, you say, maybe this is something that would make the sea witch happy. She's just a little lonely. Let's bring the baby dolphin back to her. Tana looks worried. Do you think we can trust her, you say? Yes, I really do. You have to try something anyway. Again, Tana speaks with the dolphins, and you hear her chorus of delight that squeaks as she explains the idea to them. A couple more of the more exuberant dolphins will start arcing around the water again. They think it's perfect, says Tana. They say the sea witch will knows everything about the sea creature. They'll even give us a ride back to her. Turn to page 61. I know the reason why. It's because male dolphins will actively kill off their offspring so they can have more sex. Bottlenose dolphins suck so bad. I hate them. I'm glad people aren't, like, obsessed with them like they were in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Oh my god, I know, right?
People realize that they're little shits
Like,
that don't
yeah,
deserve anything.
it's cool that they're so smart, but so are corvids, and corvids don't have the same nightmarish social things that they do. In fact, corvids specifically avoid doing those things because they will be ostracized.
Yeah. You soon discover that riding on a dolphin's back is like riding a living roller coaster. You don't always manage to hold on as the dolphin you're riding plunges in and out of the water. But he's patient about coming back for you when you fall off. The water starts to heat up and you know you're getting close to Sea Witch. Tana thanks the dolphins and you put a protective arm around the baby as they swim off. Then you and Tana brings the little dolphin makes your way down to the witch. Turn to page 70.
Yo, we found this baby in the ocean you wanted.
True to her word, the witch is waiting in the spot where you left her. And somehow she doesn't look so loathsome. Though, maybe it's because she's actually smiling. You kept your word! She cries and holds out her arm. The baby dolphin doesn't seem to find anything unusual about the sea witch's appearance. And he swims right up to her and butts her with his head, like a little puppy. See, he's gonna fuck her up. Like when he gets older, he's just doing the work right now. She pats him comfortingly, and smiles at you and Tana. Now I was gonna do something for you, she says. Mermaid, wait by this rock, and within an hour your friends will find you. And you human, what will you like? Well, I have to go back to the boarding house until my parents get home. Could you help me get to Clams Bay? And is there anything you do about Miss Klimp? The sea witch laughs. You'll be back in Clams Bay in no time. And about Mrs. Klimp, I'm afraid she's going to sprain her ankle today. She'll have to leave the boarding house and stay with her sister for the summer. Will that help you? It certainly will. This old lady spraining her ankle.
Yes. Help me cripple
will not
this.
Make the rest of her life will not be worse because of it.
Yes, help me cripple this old lady. Because she looked at me funny.
But, yeah. Do I want to say that's a good ending?
That was a good ending.
Let me look at the... let's do the other ending real quick.
Okay.
Because it's
if we
literally
try to
a page away.
If we try to escape.
No. This is if you look for treasure.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think treasure will satisfy her, you say. Let's look for some. You look, Tana says. I'm through showing you around. She vanishes into the depths before you could say a word. At least she left her necklace with you. Now you're on your own, alone in the ocean. And you can't let yourself dwell on that. You try to gather your wits and think logically. Treasure. You know you're fairly far north. Maybe ships are more likely to sink in northern waters, icebergs, all that. So, you'll find something if you keep traveling more. And that's what you do. After a day and a half in the cold, freezing water, you haven't found anything. One more day, you're almost too cold to move. Forget it, you say out loud. This was a stupid idea. I'm getting out of here. You begin to swim towards the surface. You never make it. Just before you reach the surface, the water starts to heat up. In a few seconds, it's boiling. You don't have a chance. The sea witch kept her promise. The end.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
I like that's good.
That was a good ending.
That was good.
It was just also horrifying.
Yeah, no, really horrifying. Let me look at the other thing. Okay, let's just finish up this little tree, because there's also an ending on the other one.
Yeah.
This is where you try to get away from the sea witch instead. So, Tana, let's get out of here! You gasp, and the two of you turn to swim away with all your strength. You flail frantically through the water for several minutes before you realize nothing seems to be happening in the back of you. Isn't the sea witch chasing you? You glance over your shoulder. She's standing motionless, with a malevolent grin on her face. You shudder and swim even harder. It seems unbelievable, but it looks as if you've gotten away. Turn to page 81. It's unbelievable. Just as you're beginning to think you're safe, you feel a current of water tugging you backwards. Use every bit of strength you have, but it's no use. The current is sweeping you closer, closer, closer to the witch. You and Tana join hands. It is the last thing you do before the witch has you in her clutches. The end. That was a good branch
Yeah.
of the story. Like,
Dang.
yeah, I would say so far. Good job, book. That's what I'm gonna say. Good job.
Good job. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are going, next part, we're gonna start 7.
If we went to the house, it was page 4.
Oh, no, there's another choice up ahead. It's below that one.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so if you decide to start looking for the mermaids, is where we're gonna start.
Oh, yeah, page 65.
So, page 65. That's where we're gonna start next. But, is there anything you want to say about the story before we end this episode?
I really like this. This is, you're right, this is definitely written better than the other ones. I like the two good endings we've gotten so far, which is, we fulfilled our goals plus more. We got Tana back to her people. We made it so the sea witch wasn't so lonely. We saved a baby, and we got back home. And then our other one was, we live in the ocean with our mermaid wife.
Yeah, and I don't know if you watched the Magician show, but there was this thing where they had to solve a nearly, it's Quentin and the bi-twink. Quentin and the really
what was his
you know who I'm talking about.
I can picture him perfectly.
No, he's tall. He's tall and spindly and like hot and that like I don't know how to say he's hot, but he's hot. But like in a queer way, I think in like the way that like he was bullied when he was younger. Like he's hot because you know he was bullied when he was younger.
It's a good way of putting it.
I don't know how to say that, but yeah. But Quentin and him, can't believe I forgot his name. He's my favorite character in it. It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to rewatch the Magicians. I really like the show. Elliot. But him, but Elliot and Quentin had to solve this like nearly impossible to solve puzzle, and they were they grow old together and eventually realize that they don't settle for each other necessarily, but they realize that they're pretty good together. Mm-hmm. So they kind of get like almost like common law married, and like they become I don't want to say lovers, but they grow old and everything. And Elliot like even dies of old age at one point. And it turns out that once you solve the puzzle, it just goes back to before you solve the puzzle. So they lived a whole entire lifetime together. And they forgot all about it, except sometimes in later episodes, Quentin and him will like have these little small moments together where like they kind of remember that something happened between them, but they don't remember what.
Oh.
Yeah, and I remember one of them because it was sad. Is Elliot was eating like a plum, I want to say, and that was like one of the main foods that they had. And he was just like, I don't know why these make me so happy, and it's because like they spent so much time. It was so good. The Magicians is one of those shows that I feel is just like it caught lightning in a bottle.
Yes.
Like it does such a good job at like showing like how weirdly incestuous like groups of queer friends can be sometimes. And also just like the dynamics were really good. And even though Quentin was like a really boring character at first, like he actually grew into someone I really loved at the end. By the end. And Elliot was just good the entire time. But yeah, that show does such a good job. I have to rewatch it. I know. I
need to finish it.
Yeah. I remember not being disappointed by the ending. So
yeah, not bad.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you have that with the mermaid. I forget why I was talking about that.
It's because we were talking about one of the endings being that you live forever with your mermaid wife.
Oh, because like I think that's actually maybe one of my favorite episodes. Actually, I think about that episode a lot.
I can totally get that. Totally get that.
But yeah. So, we will end this here. You do the plugs for me, please.
All right. If you like these kind of literary podcasts, you should check out one of our only completed podcast. You're getting close with Alphabet Flight. One day, years from now.
I mean, it depends on if Marvel
gets their act
takes
together.
up Zabra.
Yeah.
Takes up Zabra.
Yeah, you should go check out Over Innsmouth. It's where we read the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft. We do commentary, and we also do, like, just straight audiobooks of most of the stories. Some of them we did not because they were too racist, and some of them were just, like, too boring, to be completely honest. And some of them were really boring because they were racist.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Hora Red Hook.
I know!
How could you be anti-Semitic in a boring way? Like, come on.
No, my Saturday D&D group were literally just talking about that. About how boring horror at Red Hook is. It could have been so good, because the ending is great. The rest of it is shit. It's so bad. He spends 2/3 of the story complaining about, oh, now there's, like, foreigners living in this neighborhood. Remember when it was so much better when it was all those white people living here? Ugh. Anyways, there's some of the commentary that you could check out. But yeah, go check out Over Innsmouth. We've read everything, except for, like, some stuff that nobody should ever read again by him. Go check it out. It's fun. We read stories. We make fun of HP for getting upset because an Italian man yelled at him. So then he had to write a whole story about it. It's good.
Which, by the way, I like reminding people, that the whole, shot over Innsmouth, the fish people, the way he was describing what he thought Italians looked like. Now, is that funny to me in a meta-contextual way? Yes.
Yes.
But also at the same time, like, what? I mean, have you not seen? Like, I mean, I feel like he must have had the worst looking Italian be mean to him.
I know. We were literally talking about how that in that story, the narrator comments on how ugly the kids are. It's like, sometimes there's just ugly kids. Have you never seen an ugly child?
Like, I mean, most babies are ugly until they're like 6 months old.
Exactly. So, like, sometimes they're just ugly. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. Well.
Anyways, go check out Over Innsmouth. It's on a ton of different podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Go check it out. It was a really fun. I have very fond memories of recording those. Hence why we just talked about two of the stories extensively.
Yeah, so, this has been Turn to Your Doom, and, sometimes people who you think, are scary, just want to, be treated like a human, and, like, they'll bend over backwards to, like, help you out if you're just, like, nice to them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye!